Hello everyone, it's me again, Zena, and this is going to be the first of the actual tutorial videos for Garry's Mod 13, and I'm just going to go straight into it. So these are going to be short and sweet. I'm going to run through each tool to start with, well, not all in the same video, but yeah. So first is a precision tool. I can't remember if this is a vanilla tool or not, so I can't remember if this is in the base game or if it's add-on, so I'm gonna do it anyway, but if you don't have it, don't worry about it, because not vital, and it literally it just in a glorified manner just allows you to move props precisely. That's it. Okay, right. The next tool, axis tool, allows you to, well, create an axis like on a vehicle. So if I say this is the car or the truck or whatever, just this wall here, and you want to put a wheel on it, or if you're making a propeller or anything, you just click on the axis tool. You can adjust all of these force limits and whatever, the limits of the axis. Left click on that, left click on this, and now you can see that is on an axis. Not perfectly central, but whatever. Next we've got the ball socket tool, which allows you to create like a ball socket that you would see in like a joint of a like you know what I mean. So it's like a I'm trying to think of something that has, remember those weird Lego things? It was like the bit you put on the back of a truck to connect it to a trailer or something. It's like a kneecap, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like a kneecap. So if you get something, so say this barrel, and you click on this, actually no, if I move it over to the wall, or actually if I attach to the ceiling, it might be a bit better. So, oh yeah, if you're using constraints, which is what these set of tools are called, they don't have to be touching. You can literally just click on that and then click on the world and then unfreeze it, and you can see it can move in any direction, but it's attached. So imagine there's a ball socket here. It doesn't, the constraints are invisible apart from rope and whatever, but this can move in any axis, but it is connected, and that, I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just choose to ignore that. Okay, so now elastic, pretty self-explanatory. Everyone knows what elastic is unless you live in some kind of degenerate hole, but small barrel here. I'll just leave this how it is. Maximum elasticity there, attached to the wall. If I like draw it back, so you left click to pick things up with this is the physics gun. It's what is on 1. Oh sorry, I forgot to explain. If you push 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 whatever, and then double tap them or whatever, you can scroll through. So you've got the crowbar, gravity gun, which just pushes things, but I've frozen this. Physics gun, where if you left click you will grab it like this and you can move it around. If you hold E while you're doing this, then with your mouse you can rotate it to wherever you want. And if while you're holding left click, if you right click, it will freeze it where it is. And if you hold, I'm not going to do it because it will, I actually will. If you hover over something with your cursor and push R, it'll unfreeze it. And you can see the elastic just drew that in. So the next tool, hydraulics. Now this is the first tool that will be using this, where you can pick a key that will activate it. So if I click on it and it says press a key, I usually use ones that are on the numpad. So I'm going to push the asterisk, which is multiply. Now if I click on this and then click on this, it creates a virtual hydraulic bond between the two. So they are joined now, as you can see. And if I push multiply, which is there, then I haven't set them to move that much, but they will move. Not the best example, but you can use this to kind of have trapdoors that open, things like that really. What you would use hydraulics for in real life. That's the thing about this game, it's got quite a good physics engine despite its age. So if you are trying to figure out how to do something, the chances are just do it how it's done in real life and it will work. Okay. Next tool, motor. Exactly what it says on the tin, except the way it works is, say I've got this, I click on the top, and then say if I go here, click on the wall, left click this is, it will always tell you in the top left how to use a tool, but it just doesn't explain what it does. So I've selected right and left arrow keys, so if I push them now, it will make it move in those directions. If I let go, it'll stop. And if I push right click, right arrow key even, it will move to the right. Push Z, it will undo the constraint, and if I push it again, it will delete the prop. So the next tool is the muscle tool. Not one I use a great deal, but useful nonetheless. So if you spawn something and attach it to the world, it will create a muscle which will constantly expand and contract. That's not the greatest example. If I do it like this, if you hold control while you're no clipping, you will go slower. So it's very good if you're doing like something quite precise. See there? So it's moving up and down a bit like a piston, and I've got the key set to zero there. So I push that, it will stop. Push it again and it will start up again. Okay. Next tool, pulley tool. I don't really know. This is a very strange tool. I don't recommend it. It's not terribly useful, but it basically just works like a pulley, to be honest. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that one, because it doesn't seem to be working as well in this version of the game for some reason, or at least it's not working on my client. So I'll have to, I'll have to get back to you on that one. So rope. Well, it's rope really. There's not much you could say about it. So you spawn a prop, click there, click there. You can attach two props together as rope as well, and then they'll all be connected via the rope. That's spazzed out a bit. Yeah, so that's that. You can use rope to connect things together. You can also connect the world to the world. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah. Next tool, slider tool. Another tool that isn't terribly useful, but I can see possible applications for it. So if you use the tool there and there, it creates like a sliding door type thing, but it will slide in the direction that the rope travels. So if I like move this, you see it was pointing upwards slightly, it will go over there, and then it will slide back down. Yeah, so it's like if you want to create sliding doors or like that kind of thing, I'm not sure what else you could use it for, then yeah, that's a good tool to use. Now, one of the most important tools in the game, the welding tool. It allows you to attach props to the world or to each other. So if I attach these two props together, they are now one. They are now, like, they act as if one when I pick part of it up. However, if I was to weld something else to it, like one of the parts, it only welds it to that. It doesn't weld it to that, it only welds it to this. So now if I pick it all up and then I was to remove this, these are still stuck together. Yeah, that is a very important tool to use. And also, if you right click with the weld tool, then it does what some other tools do, where it does this, and then you right click even, and then you turn your mouse to rotate it, and then you right click again to weld it. But that's not a terribly precise way to do it, so I just tend to do it manually. Now we've got the winch tool, which is pretty self-explanatory again. I mean, if you don't know what a winch is, it's something that will pull something up, so a bit like a pulley, except it's a direct link. Doesn't have loads of cogs and everything, or wheels, or whatever you want to call them. So if I spawn, I think it'd be quite a nice example here. Where is it? There it is. There's like a little lift here. If I was to fly up and attach one part of the pulley there and one part there, and then push the key I set it to, it will travel up like that. Obviously that's a very primitive way of doing it, because it doesn't look terribly safe really, but that again is a very useful tool you can use, because you can use it for like anchors, so you can drop anchors and then pull them up again if you're building a boat. And you can also change the width and the speed that it gets longer and shorter, and the style of the rope that it uses. And so yeah, that's the kind of basic constraints. Unbreakable something from a mod that I won't include, but if you are intrigued, it literally makes something unbreakable when you use it on it. So that was constraints, and I'm going to stop this video now because it's been going on for a while. The next video will be on kind of half of the construction tools, and I'm gonna give some examples of how you can use each one in like an actual build or something to make it a bit more interesting. So if you've liked this video, please let me know in whatever way you wish, albeit a subscribe or whatever, and if you think I can improve on anything, I would like to know that as well. I'm not one who takes criticism harshly. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.